Hi and hello from Ground Zero. As the sun gets ready to set on yet another day, the evening seems to have only gotten brighter with all of the razzle and dazzle right here at IFFI in Goa. Day 7 has seen it all. Oreena Vaz has a great experience listening to one of the most popular actors of our generation, the gorgeous Rani Mukherjee, who delivered a compelling session at the festival masterclass.
IFFI 2023 was graced today by an actor who's a recipient of multiple accolades and Filmfare awards. She established herself with several commercial films like Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Chalte Chalte and Veer Zara. She also played an exceptional role as a blind and deaf woman in Black and an abused wife in the political drama Yuva. Her most recent performance came in the drama Mrs. Chatterjee vs. Norway. Just as we are used to seeing compelling performances from her, that was exactly the topic of conversation today. Here is the versatile Rani Mukherjee.
If an actor is able to be versatile, that shows the different facets of different people, because at the end of the day, as actors, we are portraying different people in cinema. You know, every story is about characters. So we are characters in the film. And the more diverse you can make those characters, it's more interesting also for the audience as well as for me. Like, I would be bored if I had to play something like who I am in all my films. But the energy I get is through the characters that I'm playing. Like, they inspire me. Like Shivani Shivaji Roy's character inspires me, inspires Rani Mukherjee, the person. So for me to play Shivani is already very inspiring, and I'm trying to be who I never got a chance to be in my personal life. Like, I can't be a cop, right? But it gives me immense pleasure to play her. And to be able to play Shivani in a way that is very real, taking instances from real life police officers, that is my kick as an actor. To be able to perform different characters and give them different images. You know, that is something that I really, really get inspired from personally.
This IFFI saw stars from all walks of life, and Alroy Fernandes was all smiles as he caught up with the legendary cricketer.
Hello everyone, and welcome to DD Goa. I have with me the legend of the sports, Mr. Muthai Mulitaran. Of course, he's here for the red carpet. He's traded in the green grass for the red carpet today, and of course, he's here for his film 800, the movie. So how do you feel being out here at Asia's premier film festival?
I'm very happy because never been into these functions at all. So something new to me, and I'm glad that we have put our movie here. So maybe you can see by all the people in India.
Okay, talking something a little bit off the film industry, when you picked up the 800th wicket, I know it was a while ago, how did you feel at that moment, and how does it feel, reliving those moments on screen right now?
See, 800 wickets, it took longer period of time because I was, at the time, really if you are seeking, I was said, okay, I did it. That's feeling like, I don't have to go back to a field and do again. So that relief was there. Now it's all about memories, like, coming memories.
Well, all the very best. Enjoy your red carpet walk and have a wonderful festival out here.
Thank you very much.
Turkey is one country that has a fabulous film culture, and some Turkish films are being showcased at the 54th International Film Festival. Lushan Fernandes caught up with the director and the team from the film Jaylin.
The story revolves around a 14-year-old girl, Jaylin, who is a seasonal agricultural child laborer. She grows up working in a tent city. Although her biggest dream is to go to school, something she knows is close to impossible. Tufan Simsekan, the director of the film, has had success at festivals around the world, working with films like Skyfall and Charlie's Angels. I would like to ask you, Jaylin plays such an important role in this movie, and she's just a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
How did you manage to train her of the issues that were facing so that she could portray that in the movie?
Jaylin karakteri
Character Jaylin is actually representing children who are forced to labor and who are also forced to early marriages. So you can think of her as a symbol And it's not only in agriculture, in many other industries as well. This is a global fact. So our child actor also was introduced to these problems. Also, she sees it around. And we had a coach who helped us tell her the stories and the details.
Her brother Adem, who acts as a troubled ex-military man, plays a crucial role in the movie as the black sheep of the family. I would like to ask the actor, you had such a difficult role to play in this film. Okay, how challenging was it and how did you do it?
This character of Adem is an other within a community which is composed of others. So this community is already severely othered, right? So there are others isolated, but the character of Adem is the other of the other. And it was a challenge for me to play this part. So the way I prepared to my role was I kept asking questions about this character, what he thinks, how he feels, and we had long conversations with Tufan. I asked many questions, and when the set began, so through our work together, the character developed gradually. I also tried to explore the comic elements, if there is any comic element in Adem. So whether there are instances where he has fun. So preparing for the part, I danced inside my house a lot to bring out the comic in him as well, the humor in him.
The film also brilliantly shows the sexual discrimination that women silently face in many parts of the world.
With just a few hours left to decide who will win the coveted Golden Peacock Award, let's take a look at the films in the competition section. Here's Team DD Goa taking a look at those in the final lineup.
With many award-winning feature and documentary films to his credit, Bulgarian director Stevan Komandarev is showcasing Blaga's lessons at IFFI. Blaga is a 70-year-old recently widowed former teacher and a woman of firm morals. When telephone scammers con her out of the money that she has saved for her husband's grave, her moral compass slowly begins to lose its bearings and she transforms into a scammer herself. This is Blaga's lessons.
Rishabh Shetty is an actor and filmmaker in the Kannada film industry. His critically acclaimed blockbuster Kantara is set in the fictional village of Dakshina Kannada. The film explores the ideological conflict between humans and nature. The coexistence of a tribe living with the forest will be hampered by a forest officer who feels certain practices and rituals followed by the tribe pose a threat to Mother Nature. Will the main character, Shiva, be able to reinstate peace and harmony in the village, perceiving his existence forms the crux of the film?
Woman Off is a 2023 Polish-Swedish drama film written and directed by Malgorzata and Michael Engert. The drama is set against the landscape of the Polish transformation from communalism to capitalism.
Die Before Death is a movie from Bosnia and Herzegovina directed by Emad Imamovic. 38-year-old Zlatan B is a hard, gorgeous, respected gynecologist with no moral dilemmas concerning abortion if that's what his patients wish. When he falls seriously ill and has little time left, he embarks on a journey to face the mistakes of his past. In the final months of Zlatan's existence, this drama turns into a victory of the forces of life over the forces of death. A child is born, since Zlatan spares one unborn life. And so, the last days of his life turn into the first days of a new life.
Come ti devo chiamare? Lubo is a 2023 Italian-Swiss drama film directed by Giorgio De Ritti, set in 1939, about a nomad who is called up to the Swiss army to defend the country's borders against the risk of a German invasion. Shortly after this, he finds out that his wife has died while trying to stop the army from taking away their 3 small children. Lubo knows that he will never have peace till he gets all his children back home. So let's wait and see if Lubo gets his justice and the film gets the award.
असोक हो चित्रपट सेऑन डेव्हलिन हो पहिल्या पिढीतलो फिलिपिनो चायनीज आयरिश कॅनेडियन चित्रपट निर्मातो आनी कॉमेडियन. असोक ही एक अद्वितीय काणी आसा जितून माहितीपट विभागाचो समावेश आसा. एक 40 वर्साचो नॉन बायनरी शिक्षक आनी टायफुनांतल्यान वाटावलेलो प्रसिद्धीच्या प्रवासान भायर सरता. फिल्मात जायत्यो कॉमेडी तशेंच सामाजीक पोर्ट्रेट वास्तववाद दाखयल्यात. चित्रपट निर्मातो सेऑन डेव्हलिन असोक चित्रपटांतल्यान हवामानान जावपी बदल तेच भशेन LGBTQ+ इश्यूज उजवाडाक हाडटा.
A film directed by Tina Barkalia, Russian director of Georgian origin. It is set in the early 2000s. As the Soviet era fades into westernized parody, the film follows Nadezhda, a timid woman trapped in a marriage with Whiteley exploiting her for an apartment. She emerges as a sort after hand model, reshaping her life dramatically.
Israeli director Mayan Rip's debut feature is an interesting story about a modern single woman, Ella. She is a 34-year-old mistress who experiences the sudden death of her lover, but is the last to hear about it. No one thought she would dare to show up at his house alongside his family and other mourners during the Jewish ritual Shiva. Keeping her identity under wraps, Ella dives into a world once forbidden to her, and eventually she demands her legitimate right to mourn.
Andragogy is a 2023 drama film written and directed by Rega's Bhanu Teja. The film stars Shah Ine Febrianti as a school teacher whose reputation and career prospects get jeopardized after a video of her confronting a line cutter goes viral. That film is playing in the competition section.
Arnath Dipaliyesh directed Party of Fools is a story of female solidarity, a portrait of women who dream of a destiny other than the one mapped out for them. Fanny, unlike the other women who are interned to Party of Fools unjustly against their will, she is here voluntarily. Her only goal is to find her mother and escape together. This French feature is produced by Philip Roosevelt and Jonathan Blumen.
Gomila nepismenih gastarbajterskih papčina. A šta ti jebote? Profesor Žicar!
Croatian director Pavo Marinkovic is back to IFFI with his masterpiece creation. It's a story of a Bosnian writer living in Austria who is suddenly left without a residence permit due to stricter immigration rules and his own negligence. In order to not be deported, Farooq must prove to the authorities that he's made a cultural contribution to Austrian society. The ensuing adventure brought on by Farooq's reluctant return to the theatre could transform his life and force him to realize what is truly important.
The German director Lars Kraum has made a haunting film about the genocide of the Herero and Nama tribes in 19th century Berlin. German ethnologist Alexander Hoffmann travels to the former colony German Southwest Africa, now Namibia, to gather skulls and art for the Berlin Ethnological Museum, and slowly begins to lose his moral compass for career gain, failing to oppose white supremacy as Germany's history darkens. This is Measures of Men.
मृदुल गुप्ता द्वारा निर्देशित और धनीराम टिस्सो द्वारा निर्मित कार्बी फीचर फिल्म मीर बीन को फीचर फिल्म श्रेणी में चुना गया है, जो ईफी के प्रतिष्ठित मंच पर जगह पाने वाली असम की एकमात्र फिल्म है। मीर बीन इस कहानी की केंद्रीय पात्र है। बचपन में उसकी दादी जो है उसे एक कहानी सुनाती है जो परिकथा सी है, और वो कहानी सेरडीहून जो कि कार्बी आदिवासी मान्यता के अनुसार वस्त्रों के देवता है। अच्छा, उस कहानी से उसे जो है कुछ करने की प्रेरणा जागृत होती है, लेकिन भाईचारे की झड़पों के बीच जातीय संघर्ष 2005 में पूरी भूमि को खूनी बना देते हैं। उसका जीवन भी इससे खतरे में पड़ जाता है, और उत्कृष्ट फिल्म का चयन शैली और सांस्कृतिक प्रथाओं की एक विस्तृत श्रृंखला का ये फिल्म प्रतिनिधित्व करती है, जो वैश्विक फिल्म परिदृश्य की गहराई को दर्शाती है।
Sana is National Award-winning filmmaker Sudhanshu Saria's latest offering. Sana, a 28-year-old financial advisor working in Mumbai, finds out she's pregnant. Absolutely clear on her decision to terminate the pregnancy, the actual process of getting the abortion forces Sana to re-evaluate her life and delve deep into whether the choices she's been making all along have really been her own. Radhika Madan, who won Best Actor for this role at the UK Asian Film Festival, and Soham Shah headlined this film, which provides thespian actress Pooja Bhatt with a scene-stealing role, a topic that is sure to generate a much-vaunted discussion on pro-choice versus pro-life. Watch out for this one when it hits cinemas in India.
خواهی بگی پیرمرد شوهرشه؟ شوهرش نیست.
پسر کم عقل، فقط کافیه یه نفر شما رو با هم ببینه، جنگ میشه.
Endless Borders, directed by Abbas Amini, is a gripping drama in which danger lurks everywhere. The rise of the Taliban has reignited the ethnic and tribal wars. Ahmed, an exiled Iranian teacher, gets acquainted with a Hazanian family from Afghanistan and sees the real face of prejudice and dogma. This forbidden love makes him act and discover himself in the process.
Our correspondent Runa got in touch with Sachin Chatte to know what's on offer on the last day of screenings tomorrow and the Michael Douglas experience at the 54th International Film Festival, India.
And we're back in conversation with our in-house expert Sachin Chatte. Sachin, movie marathon day 8, how's it been so far? And what about today?
Well, there have been a lot of B-tier films which have made it to the smaller festivals, not so many bigger ones. There have been some films from the Cannes, Venice and Berlin festivals, but also some of the smaller ones like the Thailand Black Night Festival and among several others. So tomorrow there's a very exciting film which premiered at the Thailand Black Night Festival called Endless Summer Syndrome. And I was surprised to find out that the actress is acting for the very first time in her life in a film. She's a theatre actress, but she's done an absolutely fantastic job. So I think that's going to be one of the highlights tomorrow. Of course, along with The Featherweight, which is a closing film. But as it happens with opening and closing films, it's always a world premiere. So you don't really know which way it's going to go.
Right. What about today? Today's had some high points, no?
Today, of course, there was Michael Douglas here, but as far as films are concerned, there was Blaga's Lessons, which was in the competition section. Of course, the awards are going to be announced tomorrow, and I'm putting my money on the actress for winning the Best Actress award for that film. Yeah. Although I didn't see all the competition films, but she's given an absolutely great performance, and as her co-actress announced at the opening of the festival that she's not been acting for a very long time. She's made a comeback of sorts after a couple of decades or so, 3 decades. So quite an incredible character and good film as well as fantastic acting. So I'm pretty sure she's going to take home the Best Actress award tomorrow.
What was it like meeting Michael Douglas and maybe Catherine Zeta-Jones as well?
Well, we met them from about 10 feet away, but at least we got to be in the same room. So it was very nice because, you don't know how these personalities are. It's only when you meet them face to face or when you see them talking to other people, you realize what kind of people they are. Yeah. And Michael Douglas, of course, turned out to be a very warm, very generous kind of a person. There's one thing, of course, whenever they come to India, their hearts are really warmed. As almost everybody, we've seen so many filmmakers come to India over the years, and there is always that something magical. As Catherine Zeta-Jones said, that when she was 18 months old, there was an Indian doctor who operated on her when she was very serious, and she feels that an Indian gave her a second life kind of thing. And Michael Douglas, of course, he remembers the films of Satyajit Ray, and he's going to get the Satyajit Ray Lifetime Achievement Award tomorrow. Right. So he knew the names of Padher Panchali. He mispronounced the name of Charulata, but he knew what Charulata was, what the story was, and that it was a Ray film. And he also mentioned the fact that he was impressed with Ray, not just for his filmmaking, but for what a multifaceted personality he was, doing music, doing direction, doing editing, doing script writing. He also used to do his own storyboards. So Douglas was very well aware of Ray's work in that sense. And of course, as they said, that this is the fourth time to India. So they've been to the northern part of India a few times, to Mumbai a few times, but this is the first time to Goa, which kind of comes in southwest part of the country. So it was very nice to see him talk, in a very candid manner about his work and about his life. Reflecting back on your long and successful career as an actor, as a film producer, how easy or how difficult was it to step out of the shadows of your father, Mr. Kirk Douglas, who was a legend?
Stepping out of my father's shadow took a long time, at least for me personally. And it really, it was sort of interesting. We sort of had similar careers in that his beginning of his career, he was playing the sensitive young man. And it didn't really work until maybe his sixth or seventh movie was a movie called Champion in 1950, which he was nominated for an Academy Award. He played a nasty fighter. And then that dark side, that nasty side of him sort of changed his whole direction and perspective of working. And similarly for me, in an earlier part of my career, I was playing more softer kind of roles, but you always have the situation where you're acting and someone's, oh, it's just like your father. Oh, that's very, well, he's 50% of who I am, so I'm sure I have expression. Oh, that's just like him. So there was always that element and quality. And I must say that when I won the Oscar for Wall Street, I was very excited. But that was the moment when I felt like the Oscar, you were nominated for an Oscar by your acting peers in the Academy. So when I got the nomination from my fellow actors, like, whoa, it had nothing to do with my father. It was a nomination for me. That was a tremendous, tremendous moment. And the fact that I won, like I couldn't believe. And my son Dylan is a young actor, our daughter Carison. So I've shared with them, the pressures of what it's like to have your father famous and dealing with that. And Dylan rightfully reminds me, it's not like that anymore, Dad. I said, why? Wait, what's different? Social media. I said, you didn't have social media over your back. And I said, you know what? You're right. It's a big difference. So that was the pine. I must say that my father's always very supportive to me, and I think enjoyed the fact. I mean, people used to ask my father, "Are you jealous of your son? Are you jealous of his success?" And he would look at them. What are you talking about? This is it's a continuity of generations. It's a sense of immortality that you can see going from one generation to the other. So that made a big difference.
With that, my friends, it's time to say goodbye and good night from the land of films, fun and festivals.